Hi, I'm James, and I'm going to talk to you about something you probably don't care about, like not even in the slightest. Boom Boom Satellites?
Boom Boom Satellites were a Japanese musical duo formed in 1990 by Michiyuki Kawashima and Mayasuke Nakano, not to be confused with Pierre Nakano from LTS. IYK? YK. Wikipedia describes them as an electronic duo, but I think that's severely simplifying what genre they actually are. I call them more rock slash electronic slash jazz slash really good music slash a little bit of gospel. Having released 9 studio albums, their music has changed drastically throughout their 26 active years. Their first EP, Joyride, and album Out Loud can best be described by this quote from Melody Maker.
Boom Boom Satellites are, by all accounts, what happens when Japanese people listen to the Chemical Brothers. Superb.
While the wording on this album's admittedly a little goofy, they're not wrong. Their first 2 releases do sound like the Chemical Brothers as they both follow the quadruple B theorem. Big, beautiful, break, beats. And it does make me wonder how Melody Maker reviews other artists.
Machine Gun Kelly is by all accounts what happens when American people listen to bad music.
As time progressed, so did their style, with their next album, Umbra, being a significant departure from their breakbeat roots, but it still maintains some of what made that album great. They kind of innovated on themselves, taking what worked on their last albums and putting it into their new ones, while adding new stuff to that album and adding that to the next one. And the way they made things kind of reminds me of Apple, because Apple adds small things into each iPhone, but those kind of build up. So when you look back at the iPhone 5, it's so much different from the iPhone 13. The iPhone 13 has so many more features, which is kind of like Boom Boom Satellites. Their first album is so much different from their last one. It's crazy they went from this to this. The year is 2008. Barack Obama's running his presidential campaign. Everyone's bumping and grooving to Low by FLO RIDA. And I'm 3 years old sitting in front of the TV watching Dinosaur Train on PBS Kids or something, having no idea what an Obama even is. But if I was conscious, then I'd be looking forward to July 18th, because what little indie movie came out on July 18th? What small little shoestring budget indie movie? The Dark Knight? Batman's punching guys and kicking guys, driving the Batmobile and being just disgustingly rich!
I own the place.
Starring Christian Bale as Batman and Buster Reeves as Joker Thug Number 2, The Dark Knight did numbers upon release, and it's easy to see why. It effortlessly blends a crime thriller, a gritty crime thriller, with comic book characters, and doesn't make it look silly or goofy. It's a story you can believe because there's no flying men in tight suits flying around shooting lasers from their hands. Every decision in the production of this movie was made with so much thought and care, and you can see that in every single shot in it. The quality of everything in this movie makes it so difficult to pick the best scene, but if you had to pick one, the cream of the crop, the magnum opus, what would it be? Would it be the bank robbery scene at the beginning? Nah, no. Would it be the interrogation scene? No. The scene of Batman and Joker passionately kissing in each other's arms? Surprisingly, no. The best scene in The Dark Knight, by my own judgment, is the nightclub scene. Batman's punching and kicking guys, and he's getting his groove on in the dance club. He's partying. He's bumping and grinding. In this scene, Batman enters the nightclub in an effort to capture and interrogate Maloney. It's Maroni, an Italian crime boss. This scene is so good because of its style. There's flashing lights, there's music. Now, who makes this bumping music in the background, might you ask? My boys Kawashima and Nakano, Boom Boom Satellite, Scattering Monkey! Most songs would just sound wrong in this scene, along with many other nightclub scenes. Like, look at this. That ain't right. Remember earlier in this when I mentioned FLO RIDA and his hit song Low? This man was killing it back in the late 2000s. He won People's Choice Awards for favorite hip-hop song. He made Right Round. That's a G-Dang classic. What else was he doing? He collaborated with Boom Boom Satellites on a version of their song Kick It Out? That's right, FLO RIDA, Taj Mowry, and Boom Boom Satellites collaborated to make what might be the worst thing my ears have ever witnessed. It's a really bad song, but I gotta give it some credit because FLO RIDA's a hologram in it, and honestly, that's pretty cool. So for the rest of this segment, I will also turn into a hologram. I also just love the fact that this is a thing that exists. These two things they've done are just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Boom Boom Satellites. They collaborated with Chuck D from Public Enemy on Your Reality is a Fantasy, but Your Fantasy is Killing Me. And it's a certified classic by my books. I tell you to listen to it, but it's not available anywhere. It's not on Spotify, it's not on Apple Music, it's not anywhere on Google. And trust me, I've searched deep into Google for it. Deep into Google. I do have the CD though, so I can listen to it. You jealous? Being popular artists in their home country, Boom Boom Satellites have done what most other Japanese artists have done and made anime openings. They gotta pay the bill somehow. They made Lay Your Hands on Me for Conniver, they made Broken Mirror for Gundam Unicorn, both of which are great songs. But the fact that they're in those shows will not make me watch them anytime soon. They're good songs, though. These two dudes even got an official Bear Brick after their song Easy Action was in Vexel, some sci-fi movie. I do own this Bear Brick, and yes, I sleep with it every single night. I hope one day I become notable enough to have a Bear Brick of myself. It'd be sick. It's my lifelong dream, probably. As mentioned before, Boom Boom Satellites were only active until 2016, and that was because the lead singer and guitarist Kawashima unfortunately passed away because of a brain tumor. Lay Your Hands on Me, which I just mentioned, was their last release, as he could no longer sing, let alone move due to his condition. However, the second half of this duo is still alive and well today. He's went on to form the Spellbound with Yusuke Kobayashi from the Novembers, known for their albums Zeitgeist, and Angels, and At the Beginning, and Mistopia, and while I love Boom Boom Satellites and the November separately, there's something about them coming together. It just didn't really hit for me, you know? It's good. I like a few of their songs, but I guess it's not really my thing. They did recently make the ending theme for season 4 of Golden Kamuy though, so that's pretty cool. But that's not what's important here. What's important here is that Nakano is still providing his massive talent to the Japanese music industry, something that's irreplaceable. He's still making music, making tunes for people to bump and groove to, like FLO RIDA's Low. He didn't make that. I was mentioning FLO RIDA, I said it earlier all this is to say Boom Boom Satellites had so many songs and so many different forms of media. Surprising, people in America don't talk about them as much. I mean, they do have like 70,000 Spotify listeners, but you have to wonder how many of those come from people listening to anime opening compilations. And if you do that, why? What is your goal? Do you only want to listen to anime openings? Do you not want to listen to any other music? You just want to listen to anime openings for your entire day? All of their albums are made with different techniques, different instruments, different flavors, if you will. So if someone doesn't like their music, then it's just try another one. You might like it. Now this leads me to my deep, metaphorical conclusion that I spent years of my life on. Maybe you should check them out.